and welcome back to Bremen Farmstead. We got reports that we're going to have some nasty weather today. High winds and possibly even some hail. Maybe even a tornado. We'll find out later. But I've got a dump truck and a Peterbilt sitting outside. I'd like to get them inside, so come along as we try to move them. Start by getting the dump truck started up, and we'll move over to the Peterbilt. I was charging the batteries yesterday on that. Oh, there's some lightning out there already. Oh, our old 74 Ford. Let's see, hopefully this thing starts. Perfect. That Peterbilt's gonna take a little more work. I gotta put these battery cables back on. I'll go grab a wrench from the building, get them put on real quick. It's a 9/16. Let's go with the socket wrench. 9/16. Yep. It's gotten really windy already. Come on. All right, it does say 100%. I'll bring you back when I got the cables back on. All right, so we got the batteries hooked back up. This truck has not been started in probably 2 months now. I need to get this thing cleaned up and get it sold because I don't drive truck anymore. Let's see, I hope this thing starts. That's a good sign. Oh man, like butter. Smooth. Smooth. Good. Neither one of them decided to fight me this morning. Pull this battery charger inside real quick and set it out of the way for now. Got an extension cord. Drag that thing in. There. Now those are out of the weather. Put my wrench back and see if I got room in that other building to bring both of them in. If not, I gotta hook a plow real quick. I hope I don't have to though. I don't know if I have that much time. Air brake off. Gear. Park it there for now. Let's see how the shop looks. Oh crap. Still got the 4430 hooked up to the plow. Baler's in here. Let's see. That Peterbilt's pretty long. I don't know. I'm not gonna get that dump truck in here. That's got the south side. I do need to get that Peterbilt in. That thing, I don't really want to worry about that. I'll take that outside and drop it real quick. Hopefully we got enough time for that. Come on. Oh, good old springtime weather in Ohio. Oh, big lightning. Hopefully this one just passes us over. I know they're calling for some even worse weather tonight. About 5 days of rain. Might get 5-6 inches of rain out of it. Come on. Straighten out. Yeah, so get this stuff unhooked, bring that in. Hopefully it'll get too wet in the process. That's good. Come on, flip it. Alright, hydraulic hoses. Come on. Yeah. Oh, now it's really raining. Plenty of lightning and thunder out. Get this put away. At least bring that Peterbilt in. That dump truck I'll probably leave down there. I'll turn it around. That way most of the weather hits the bed and not the cab. We'll see how that goes. How am I going to sneak this in there? Move that toolbox. I'll probably back it in and back it off to the side. See if that gives me just enough room. That way. Down here. That actually fit better than I thought it would. I'll grab that Peterbilt. We'll just nose it in here. And that'll be good. And it's really raining now. As you can see, that actually fit in there pretty good. So there should be just enough room for that Peterbilt right here. This is the truck that I used to drive when we had our trucking company. My 379. Let's turn some more lights on. There we go. Oh, whew, out of breath. I'm out of shape. I used to drive this truck all over the east half of the United States. A lot of trips down to North Carolina, Virginia, out to eastern Pennsylvania, up to New York, upstate New York, Michigan. Hauled a lot of feed products for dairy farms. Brakes are frozen up. That makes sense when you park for as long as this thing's been parked now. Son of a gun, they are. Alright, I got you back here. I've got the brakes unfrozen enough just to move it around here. Boy, oh boy, are they dragging. I got back axle freed up. Front axle still hung up, but it's just enough to move it. Only over gravel, not tearing up the tires or nothing. Alright, let's see where that puts us. We are inside the door. And perfect. Just enough room. That'll be that. Turn this thing off. I should take those cables back off the batteries. But before that, we'll flip that dump truck around. You can see my drag marks all the way up the driveway back to the house. So it happens when things sit. But it is raining pretty fierce out there now. It dies down a little bit, we'll go out there. Until then, let's work on these battery cables. I need a 9/16 socket wrench again. The ground comes off first because the ground cables are actually covering up the positive cables. Wow! I don't know if that's hail coming down out there, if that's just heavy rain, but that sounds nasty. Wow. Wow. Well, it's gonna be a hot minute till we go out there now. Prop this back up on there. There. Peterbilt's batteries are disconnected. Wow. I'll turn you around here in a second. show you how much water's coming off the barn roof. Sometime this year or next year, you'll see me do a couple projects around this farm with our water. Almost all of our tiles are plugged. Our downspouts aren't doing well. Electric company is going to put brand new power lines in sometime this year out front. And after they get done doing that, I want to put a new 20-inch main to the front of the farm, reconnect our house, our barn, and any other building that has downspouts. Reconnect them to that tile, get that water away from the farm. I've got too many issues with water around here. I got water running into my cow lot. It's gotta happen. Our driveway gets washed out, so I'll try to regrade our driveway and put a culvert or a receiver up at the top. Just try to get as much of that water away as possible. Well, it died down now. I know I can't show you that rain coming off the roof, but I can show you how much rain we've gotten so far. When we first came in here, there was no puddle down here. Now there's a big puddle, and that water is actually running into the shop here, which is lovely. This shop is just an old tie stall barn that I went and removed the concrete feeders out of and opened up. You can see I'm actually missing a downspout right there on this barn. And actually most of the water, when it came off, flowed over the edge of the downspout and actually just came right off the roof. So I probably have to redo that up there. On a heavy rain like this, I'd like to be able to capture all that water. That downspout was only 4 inches. I mean, I got a whole 2 barns coming together there that's gotta have better water. This one here, the gutter is actually partially falling down. It's only a 4-inch gutter as well. I'd like to increase that, give it more capacity. Let's turn that dump truck around while we're out here. Maybe we can talk about this building a little bit more. Wet, wet, wet. All that water just running across this ground right here. No gutter to go into, no downspout. All of it runs right through here, right through the yard, down to the ditch. Air brake off, reverse. I'm gonna put this truck down here in hopes that if I park it in front of the door, that any severe wind we get or hail, that the barn will actually protect this truck some. That's my hope. For those of you who might wonder, I don't know if you can hear it, this truck, being a 74, has a older Caterpillar 3208 in it. It is turbo. I haven't used it a whole lot yet. We only bought it this last fall to move some landscaping stone. But so far the truck runs well. Might need an injector to it, smokes it, start it. Once it warm, it don't do it anymore. And I know I didn't talk about it, but that Peterbilt that I used to drive, that 379, had a 3406 6NZ Cat in it, 550 horse. It was plenty of power for what I did, and I really liked the truck. And it's pouring again. Shouldn't get this camera this wet. You can see right there just that little splash off the gutter. When we were getting a little bit heavier rain just a minute ago, that water was shooting right over the edge of that gutter. Over here, I got a downspout that's cracked. Half it's leaking out. So yeah, there we go. Truck's inside. Dump truck is somewhat protected. This water won't hurt the shop too bad. There's gravel down the center. That's from where the old feed bunks were pulled out. Concrete down the center. Water. The backhoe that needs a little work. Combine. So this building was a tie stall barn back in the day. It was built in 1954. At least that's what the concrete stamp up front used to say before I tore it out. But it was built in 54. It was a tie stall barn. Probably one of the larger dairy barns in the area at the time. I don't have any records on it to know how many head they were milking. This would be the previous owners to the farm before my grandparents owned this place. There's a hay mow up through here that I tore out, opened it up. Opened up the center floor. I put that big door in the end, braced up all these rafters, opened it up. It made a really nice building to store some of this larger machinery with cabs and work on my semi in. Put this door down. I can't squeeze through there. Oh my God, I need to lose some weight. Cows are all inside, so they're doing all right with that. They'll probably spend the next 4 or 5 days in here. Tonight when I go to feed them, I'll put a lot of hay in here. Make sure that stays full for them. Soon enough, I'm gonna have to pull all this bed pack out. It's too much. It's just been too wet. I like to drive in from the back of the barn that way. That way I don't make a mess out here in this gravel and mud it up real bad, but it might be bad enough. I might have to do that. At least remove this big section of manure here. Get that down. They'll kind of push it around a little bit, level it off. All right, back to the shop. Let's get this door latched. Boom, done in here. I can go back to the house and change my wet shoes. This is our 1974 Ford L8000 dump truck that Ashley and I bought this fall. Bought it mainly to haul our landscaping stone that we bring back to our stockpile. We got a couple stone clients around here we haul it to. Now that we won't have any semis anymore, it's gonna be nice to have this. Just get those couple loads a year hauled away, and I'm sure there'll be some other benefits around the farm here for it. Maybe haul some grain in. It's a pretty good truck. Bought it off a guy up in Michigan. He was really nice. He did a lot of work to it. The motor in it only has 50,000 miles on it. I can't say everything about the injectors, being that they seems to be a bad one, but all in all, it works well, it runs well. I have some bushings to redo in the back, but other than that, it'll get the job done. It's not a new truck. Never bought it to be a new truck, but it'll definitely get my job done that I need. I don't need it for much. Didn't want to get a whole lot of money stuck in a truck that was just going to sit most of its life. It's a good truck for what we paid for it. It's actually an exceptional truck for what we paid for it, in my opinion. It's old, but it's gold. Of course, I can't talk around here without the cows wondering what the heck I'm doing. Snooping on me, trying to figure out what's going on. Hey, I would too. You guys are curious, aren't you? Tonight I'll throw more straw down too. I try to let the bedding get about to this level. That way their hooves and them decompose and compost as much of this manure and straw. Otherwise, when I go to pull it out, it's mostly straw. So this is a decent bed pack in my opinion. Get some straw in here. It's not soupy, it's not real wet. It's actually pretty dry in there. Just mainly about looks like dirt now. We'll bed this tonight, get them some hay, prepare them for the next couple of days with all this wet weather coming in. Keep them nice and dry. Earlier I was talking about putting a new tile out front after they get these electric poles replaced. And this is part of the reason why. It slopes down to our garage. You can see the water's going away a little bit. I replaced the tile out back, but I didn't connect this one in yet. But we do have some water problems in our basement from it. Our sump pump pumps out and goes through the front yard, connects into the tile from the barn and goes down to the road. I know the tile from the barn out is plugged. I think the one for the house flows, but I want to make sure that we get all this taken care of. That storm came through last night. Our area, for the most part, was unharmed. I had heard that there was enough hail just north of here that they had to get the state plows out and plow the road off. When we were in the building and it started raining a lot harder and I heard a little more clinking and clanking on the steel roof, supposedly that was when the hail came through. We didn't hardly get any of it, but we got a little bit. Let's just go for a quick trip around the farm, check on those oats and alfalfa, and just see how things are looking. I'm not sure if the camera's doing a good job picking that up or not, but you can look across this field and see a slight green haze starting. That green haze is the oats that are starting to come up. I'm gonna take a quick look at all this up close. See here all these bits that are coming up that look like grass. That's the oats starting. Can actually just about make rows out of it. All of these little small 2-round leaf plants, that's all alfalfa already coming up. I've been around the whole field already, and there's only 2 spots I think that are slightly concerning as to the oats coming up, and that's mainly from this big heavy rain we had. Time will tell, but I do think that this will turn out pretty well yet. I'll come back and broadcast some grass seed over this. I made a note in one of the previous videos that the last center strip probably didn't have any alfalfa seed in it. I'll broadcast that grass seed over this whole entire field. That should take care of that issue. I know it won't be alfalfa in the center of the field, but I don't want to buy a whole nother bag of alfalfa just to plant a 10-foot wide strip that's only about 300 feet long. Alfalfa seed's pretty expensive. I already planned to plant grass over this after the first year just to thicken up the stand. I'm not feeding dairy cows, I'm only feeding steers. So I don't need a straight alfalfa field. Having a little grass in there I think works a lot better. Whenever the alfalfa doesn't grow well, the grass grows well, especially coming into the first cutting. I get a lot more tonnage out of that. So instead of waiting for that first year to finally plant that grass in with this, I'll just plant it this year. This is the field next to the one that I just planted for hay. You can actually see in here the alfalfa that is there and the grass that's growing up. And it almost seems as though the grass is starting to outgrow the alfalfa. And that's what I'm talking about. Typically this first cutting, the grass will grow up a lot stronger than the alfalfa. The alfalfa will grow very well, but I'll get a lot more tonnage out of this field with the alfalfa and the grass both sequestering sunlight and turning it into plant matter. The pasture's starting to grow up here. Hopefully by June, mid-June, we'll make our first cutting off of this when I cut the rest of the hay. And then after that grows back up a couple weeks later, get a little bit closer to July, I'll let those steers out on this and they'll stay out on it as long as the field stays in good shape. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We can do a lot here, but we cannot grow this channel without your help. Thank you and have a good day.